Coming up on this week's Weird News, we have stories about how to game for longer, flying on balloons, being spaced out, and finding charge for your phone.
And now it's time for this week's Weird News with Daniel Bryan.
Here we go again for this week's Weird News, episode 19. Schools in the UK are breaking up for the summer holidays and the smell of barbecues is in the air. So did you miss last week's show? Well, if you did, here's a summary of what you missed. On our last show, our first story was about a dog that ate some Rice Krispie cakes, unaware that they were laced with cannabis, and it resulted in the dog being high for 24 hours. The second story was about a crash on a motorway, where a lorry carrying hundreds of hives containing bees broke open, releasing 2 million bees onto the road. Our third story was about a dolphin that jumped on board a boat, and in the process, broke a woman's ankles. And our final story was about a website, where you queue to view its contents, and when you get to the front of the queue, you can see that website exclusively for 60 seconds. And on TWWN Music, we had Charlotte Bradley with her song Stepping Stones. If you missed it, find it on our website at www.thisweeksweirdnews.com or download the podcast from all the major platforms. Now it's time for the weird and wonderful news from the last week that you may have missed. Our stories today come from week 28, 2015, or, as some of you may prefer, the 6th to the 12th of July.
Story number 1.
Do you play video games and find yourself playing into the small hours of the night? Do you then get moaned at by a partner or a parent? Well, perhaps don't do what a man in Germany did this week. A 23-year-old man from Germany has been fined in a German court for wanting to play video games for longer. But where's the crime in that? Well, to do so, he drugged his girlfriend so that she wouldn't moan at him to stop playing. The man has admitted putting 4 to 5 drops of sedative into his girlfriend's tea after she returned home from a 10-hour shift at work. When she returned home at 10 p.m, she found her boyfriend and a friend playing video games. After drinking a cup of tea, she slept until midday the following day when she had to get up for work again. But even then, she says that on her way to work, she was still struggling not to fall asleep. The boyfriend admitted what he had done the following day and claimed he had been on drugs at the time himself and didn't know what he was doing. Needless to say, he's now her ex-boyfriend. The judge sentenced the man to pay a fine of £360, and the man admits he was stupid and now he's on a straight path. So how would you feel if this happened to you? Would you forgive your boyfriend for drugging you? Or would you think he got away far too lightly with the punishment and the fine that he got? Get in touch with your views and we'll share them on next week's show.
Story number 2.
Has anyone seen the Disney animation film called Up? If not, it's actually quite a good film, so maybe you should check it out. Well, this week, one man tried to recreate one of the famous scenes from the film. In the film, an old man attaches millions of balloons to his house until it floats off into the sunset. Well, Daniel Boria tried a similar stunt, but instead of using a house, he used a chair. And it was while he was sitting on it. Daniel's idea was meant to be a publicity stunt for his cleaning company, but it ended up with him getting arrested. It got to the point where they'd attached over 100 helium balloons to the chair, and then suddenly it started floating up in the air. It's reported as shooting up really quickly, and before long he soon realised it was a lot higher than he thought. And, quite crucially, he realised that actually it was quite a windy day. Luckily for Daniel, he'd thought to pack a parachute. So he then jumped out of the chair and floated back down to earth, where he was promptly arrested for mischief-causing danger to life. Now, I've never heard of this crime, but it does sound a bit of a fun killer. So what do you think? Was he a nutter? Or was it quite cool? And you're off out to buy some helium balloons yourself now? Let us know by commenting on our Facebook page or dropping us an email. You can become part of this week's Weird News. This section of the show could be dedicated to you. Sponsor the show and we can fill this section with a tailor-made advert just for you. Reach your audience in a different way with the power of a podcast. We are open to your ideas, so get in touch at thisweeksweirdnews@gmail.com. Get on board with us now as our listeners grow and we can reach more and more subscribers together.
Story number 3.
Over in South Korea this week, a space out competition took place. But what's a space out competition and how can I enter? Well, it's nothing to do with going to space, and it's actually free to do. Essentially, contestants were invited to gather in a major shopping street in the city and sit for 2 hours. Music and smartphones were all banned, and all you have to do is sit and gaze off into the distance. Contestants were then monitored by officials to make sure they were not distracted by their surroundings, and they also monitored the contestants' heart rates. Another part of the task is that their heart rates should remain steady, indicating that they are definitely spaced out and not distracted or excited by anything around them. Obviously, if you've become distracted, your heart rate changes, and when it's outside this allowable rate, you're out. It was first held in 2014, and now it's been made an annual tradition. The organisers believe that it helps people relax and to switch off from their hectic schedules. So would you be good at this? Do you find yourself doing this exact thing for about 2 hours on a Monday morning at work? Maybe take a trip over to South Korea this time next year if that's the case.
Story number 4.
Modern phones these days eat batteries, and before you know it, it's bleeping away in your pocket, begging you to charge it. And in this day and age, we can't be cut off for more than 5 minutes, as you may miss that important cat picture that's been posted on Facebook. So, what do? You need to find a plug. Well, this week, a performance of a play called Hand of God was going on Broadway, when one man in the audience realised his phone was getting low on battery. So what would everyone else do? Just sit there and probably forget about it and watch the play, right? Well, this one man didn't just sit there. And he didn't just sneak out quietly and ask the box office if they could, charge his phone and he could collect it when he comes out. Instead, while sat there, he spied a plug. A plug that happened to be on stage. And then, in an embarrassingly cringy act, he climbed up onto the stage to find the plug. However, after disturbing the play and causing everyone to look at him and wonder what on earth he was doing, he discovered that the plug was actually fake and part of the set. Luckily for us, someone else in the audience didn't have a flat battery and was able to film the whole ordeal and upload it to YouTube. It's now had more than 114,000 views. Ushers in the theatre quickly made their way to the man on stage to get him off. The play was delayed by 5 minutes, and just before the play resumed, an announcement was made to the audience, warning people to avoid similar acts themselves. Now, back in his seat, the man had an usher stationed near him, just in case he decided to go for another little wonder. So sometimes when your phone needs charging, just leave it and let it die, so it can die instead of you dying of embarrassment. And there we have it, this week's 4 news stories that we hope you enjoyed enough to tell your friends and to get in contact with the show with your views and comments. Send comments to
thisweeksweirdnews@gmail.com
or comment on our Facebook, Twitter or Google Plus pages.
Comment on Facebook at facebook.com/thisweeksweirdnews or on Twitter @weeksweirdnews.
Or go to our website. We will find all these contact details and more about the show. And you can also catch up on our previous episodes. To do this, go to
www.thisweeksweirdnews.com.
TWWN Music.
On TWWN Music, we play a song from a new up-and-coming artist. Then we welcome your comments, and you can go check them out further on our website, which links to their YouTube channel and their social media. Last week, we played a song called Stepping Stones by a young lady called Charlotte Bradley. If you didn't hear it, check out the website to listen to her amazing track. Now on to this week, where we have a song today called Best I Never Had. It was written and performed by Colin Huntley, who is 17 years old and lives in Texas, all the way over there in America. Back in 2004, Colin was one of the top 30 finalists in a television programme called ABC Rising Star, where he'd gotten to perform on stage with some big artists such as Blue October, Curtis Grimes and the Bellamy Brothers. The song we are playing today was nominated for a Hollywood Music in Media Award and was a 2014 ISC Music Video finalist. The music video on YouTube has had over 330,000 views, so it can't be that bad, can it? Best I Never Had is the title track of his latest EP. The song is about pursuing that special person until they finally realise you're what they've been looking for all along. So take a listen and let us know what you think. It's another catchy song and I really hope you like it as much as I do. Check out Colin's website at www.colinhuntley.com to find out more. Or go to our website at www.thisweeksweirdnews.com and go to the TWWN music page to see the video for Best I Never Had and check out his social media links. And don't forget to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with more weird and wonderful news from around the world. Now, to play us out, it's Colin Huntley with the Best I Never Had.
Feels like I'm trapped in a revolving door, going around in circles, going back and forth. Do I tell you the truth or do I hold it back? I'm just so scared of how you might react. Oh, why'd you have to go and be so beautiful? Who wouldn't wanna have themselves a girl like you? Talking to the in my lines, thinking of ways to tell you that you are the best, best, best I never had. The best, best, best I never had. Oh, the best, best, best I never had. But 3 a.m. is just about the normal time that I fall asleep and finally get you off my mind. But tomorrow's different 'cause I've got a plan. I've said it before but now I'll say it again. Oh, why'd you have to go and be so beautiful? Who wouldn't wanna have themselves a girl like you? Tell me, one of these days I don't know where or when you're gonna notice me, but until then, you are the best, best, best I never had. The best, best, best I never had. Oh, the best, best, best I never had. But I will. Maybe I'm half insane. Maybe you feel the same. Maybe you think that I could be the best, best, best you ever had. 'Cause baby, you're the best, best, best I never had. The best, best, best I never had. Oh, the best, best, best I never had. But I will. Whoa, you are the best, best, best I never had. The best, best, best I never had. Oh, the best,
Join us next time for more weird and wonderful news from around the world. Only on this week's Weird News. Goodbye.